What's up, guys? Welcome back to Newswave. We got our first look at Starlink and how it's sold so far, at least in the UK, and we got ratios and everything, and yeah, it looks like Star Fox being included, at least the Star Fox brand, probably saved this game, at least in the UK, when it comes to their sales charts and where it's placing, because heavily skewed on the Switch. And without that, it would have been in a lot of trouble. We're going to talk about that. And yeah, we did see some Red Dead Redemption 2 footage leak out, some gameplay footage that Rockstar is probably not too happy about, knowing them, considering this is well ahead of the embargo that we're waiting for reviews. So we're going to go over that as well. As always, guys, if you enjoy these videos, make sure you hit the like button on the way out. It really does help out. We're going to start today with some of the quick news, starting with XO. XO is next month. That's, of course, going to be Microsoft's big event. I guess you'd say it's similar to like a Nintendo Direct or when Sony did their showcase at Tokyo Game Show and everything. You could kind of put it there. It seems like it's going to be above Sony's type event and probably on more of the level of like Nintendo Direct is what we're hearing. And it looks like one of their big games is actually going to be playable there, and that's Crackdown 3. They put out a tweet on their Mexico account on Twitter, and they do detail that it will be part of Xbox Fan Fest, and it sounds like it will have a playable demo there for, I guess, people to try out, which is great considering we're all concerned about this game at this point. It is supposed to be coming out in February from what we've seen, so I would hope they have a playable build ready, because if that's not playable in November, and it's coming out in February, are we sure it's coming out in February then? So it's good to hear it will be playable. We'll get some news about it. We'll hear about how it's performing and where it is exactly right now, because we haven't seen it in any type of playable state for at least a year now. So good to hear. We'll at least see it there, and we'll see how it looks. We also got a release date for Fuse. Now, if you remember, this was announced a while ago, I think basically around when the Switch came out or was coming out. We heard that there would be some sort of programming language, programming environment called Fuse that you could work in and learn how to develop applications and develop games, 2D and 3D games. It was kind of putting it on the kind of the level of like basic or true basic, or even at this point, from what they're saying, learning alongside like C++. And this is going to be a full programming language on your Switch. It's coming out, according to a press release they sent out, April 1st, 2019. I have no idea why these companies release games on April 1st, on April Fool's Day. It's very weird to do that. But I guess that kind of saves them if they have to delay it, because they can just, April Fool's is coming out later. I'm sure that would go over well. But yeah, this is apparently coming out then. It will have, from what we've seen, even keyboard support. You'll be able to code and develop your own applications and games on the Switch, which is interesting because it sounds like it's going to come with a ton of assets to help get you set up. It's going to have full access to the Joy-Con features and functions, so should be interesting, but you'll just have to wait until April to try it out. And if you're not already downloaded and ready to go, the Fallout 76 beta is tonight, starting 7 p.m. Eastern Time, running to 11 p.m. Eastern Time. And if you've already pre-ordered the game, you've probably already received your beta code, and you're already even preloading, since it's been ready to preload for, I think, a few days now. But if you are not ready to go, if you go and pre-order, apparently like GameStop, they'll give you a code to get set up. That's how this works. These aren't actually open betas. These are pre-order, and then you'll be allowed into what appears to be a 4-hour beta. And this apparently is going to be just to test the servers. So this should help them on day one, because, well, Bethesda's single-player games have a hard enough time running correctly, and now we're throwing the online into the mix. So, yeah, let's blitz their servers, and let's see if this game can handle it, because I fully expect this game to catch on fire and crash immediately day one with the floodgates being opened up for all the people buying in. So hopefully this at least helps Bethesda gauge as to what kind of servers they need to get started. All right, guys, some of the quick news out of the way. Let's jump into the bigger stuff. We're going to start with the sales in the UK. These, of course, are the retail sales, so all physical sales that take place in the store. These don't count digital. And let's start with the top 10, and then we're going to move on to some of the finer details. And obviously at the top, as you would expect, Call of Duty Black Ops 4. Then we have FIFA 19 at number 2, Assassin's Creed Odyssey, Spider-Man, Forza Horizon 4, Lego DC Supervillains actually at 6 is pretty interesting to see. Super Mario Party at 7, Soul Calibur 6, which is interesting is that that's actually down 55% physically from the previous version in 2012, Soul Calibur 5. So yes, once again, physical sales having a big big nosedive on pretty much everything from what we're hearing. Crash Bandicoot Insane Trilogy at number 9, which the game just will not go away in the UK. And then Shadow of the Tomb Raider at number 10. You're going to notice that there is no Starlink in the top 10, and that's because with all systems combined, it actually came in at number 14. Now, if you take the split, so we say, okay, how much does it sell on the Switch, how much sell on the PlayStation, how much on the Xbox? Seems to be 82% on the Switch, 10% on the PS4, 9% on the Xbox. That, of course, comes out to 101% because they are rounding. But yes, 82% on the Nintendo Switch. That is insane. Now, believe it or not, that was actually not the best-selling Switch game of the week for a new debut. That actually goes to Dark Souls, as that came in at number 12. That's impressive, obviously, but Starlink at number 14 is, it's not great. I mean, let's be real here. It's between the PS4, Xbox, and the Switch at number 14 is not very good for the game based on what I'm sure Ubisoft wanted it to be, but if you take the Switch version, it comes in at number 16 in individual formats, whereas the other two versions don't even place in the top 40. So yes, that game really did need Star Fox on the Switch, at least in the UK. Now, there are a lot of reports about how the pricing was a little weird, and if you wanted to buy it, like the bundle pack, the starter pack that I got for $75, if you convert it, it was actually like $90-something there, and it's hard to say how the digital sales affected this one even. All we can do is look at these physical sales charts and say, wow, okay, yeah, the Switch version helped this game up, this debut up heavily. I mean, everyone wanted to play as Star Fox, everyone wanted that extra content, and I get it. Especially buying it in stores with that R-Wing, it's pretty cool. But this game would have been in a dire situation, apparently, if the Switch version didn't have Star Fox and wasn't heavily promoted. I mean, seriously, why don't you guys let me know in the comments where you think this game would have come out and placed if there was no Star Fox and it was just Starlink on the Switch, PS4, and Xbox One. Do you think the Switch still would have carried it, or do you think people just wouldn't have cared as much because there's no Fox McCloud and Falco and Peppy and Slippy, or do you think people would have just kind of passed by it, buying Call of Duty and stuff? Let me know, guys, down below. I'm very curious. Next up, let's talk about Red Dead Redemption 2, because yeah, gameplay footage leaked out for this thing, and it looks really cool. It does, but Rockstar they're not going to be very happy about this. Rockstar is notorious for going after people, suing, and all kinds of stuff when it comes to these leaks. So whoever broke the embargo, I hope they did it as anonymously as possible, because Rockstar is, they'll find you, we'll say that. But yes, about 24 seconds or so was leaked out, and it shows kind of a gunfight for the main character and I guess some bandits out there in the game, and it looks like there is a ton of attention to detail. I mean, from the way that the guns are being reloaded and the sway on the jacket and everything when he's moving and just the environment around you, it looks like they spent some time on this game, and that makes me really excited. I would go check out the footage. It's not very long. It's very easy to find. It's on Reddit. I have noticed it was uploaded to YouTube a few times, but that's already been ripped down. So again, no gameplay footage here, but Rockstar they are looking for it right now and probably trying to find who put it out there, because the embargo, I believe, is supposed to be going up in the next day or two. So you should see reviews start to pop up like crazy. Probably a ton of footage and everything, but this is ahead of the embargo, so I would go see it while you can before it maybe gets ripped down everywhere else. But yeah, this is looking good. I'm really excited for Red Dead Redemption 2. This Friday, I'll be picking it up, playing it like crazy, and I'm sure we'll be talking on the podcast this Friday night as well, because this is going to be possibly one of the largest releases that is not a Call of Duty, because I do still think Call of Duty is going to sell the most this year, but man, there's no denying Red Dead Redemption 2 after you see that footage. Yeah, it's looking like it's going to be what it's cracked up to be. 60-hour campaign. Online multiplayer I'm not as excited about, because I saw what happened with GTA, with the shark cards and everything. No, but the single player for GTA 5 remained mostly untouched and everything when it came to microtransactions, so excited for Red Dead Redemption 2 when it comes to the single player, and not as much the online multiplayer, but Friday, looking forward to it. Next up, let's talk about a pretty cool custom build that someone did in No Man's Sky. Now, we are getting into the holiday season, of course, and it looks like a player in No Man's Sky found the perfect planet to reenact the movie poster from The Nightmare Before Christmas. In fact, here is a screenshot from it that they shared on Reddit that blew up and got a ton of upvotes, and people were really excited. It's really cool, by the way, to see where No Man's Sky has kind of gotten to at this point with all the updates. I know it took a while and was not at all what they had advertised it when it it came out, obviously, and people were really frustrated by that. The game has been getting a lot of updates, and you can see that they actually took to this planet that they found. This was posted by Reef Guy 07, 007, and they said that they were able to terraform and customize and build all of this on a planet they found that reminded them of the movie. And the fact that you can do that in this game is already very impressive, because I know you could have done anything like this when it first came out. So yeah, the game has changed drastically, but to see something like this, with this kind of creativity, is really, really cool. Of course, people are already in the Halloween spirit with it being the end of October, but what a neat thing to do in a game. I always like these kind of, I guess, these creations in the game, because I wouldn't have ever thought to do something like this in No Man's Sky, but completely possible, and somebody did it, and people really enjoyed it on Reddit. The post is pretty neat. I'll go check it out, but to see this, very cool. One, to see people be able to do this, but two, to be able to see that No Man's Sky has come so far to allow people to do it in the first place. And in our last bit of news, let's talk about those GameCube controllers from Powerade. Do you remember how we talked about the wired and wireless GameCube controllers that will be enabled and working on the Switch? And you can buy them from Powerade just in time for Smash Bros. Ultimate. According to them, it'll work on all games, so that'll be cool if we ever get any beloved GameCube games ported over, to be able to play on it and really play any game you want with the GameCube controller. But we had the Amazon product listing updated, and well, it shows a few things that might annoy people. One in particular, because I noticed it with my review of their Powerade controller I thought was good, but one thing really put people off about this controller. Anyway, let's talk about this product listing. Here it is right here, and we're going to kind of go down the list here. Sure, the classic GameCube design plus larger D-pad. Great. Actually, D-pad was pretty small on that, so that's actually a good thing. Added left shoulder button, Bluetooth wireless freedom, awesome. The LEDs will actually work to also warn you that the battery is low, and yeah, it's gonna have AA batteries for 30 hours of gameplay. But yes, AA batteries. It will include motion controls, which is great, and then of course system buttons like home and snapshot and everything. But yes, you will be using AA batteries in the GameCube controller from Powerade, officially licensed and everything, which is probably going to remind me a bit of that Powerade controller that we checked out with the buttons on the back and everything. They're pretty cool. Had a good feel to it, and it worked well. No NFC support, no rumble. I kind of expect that to be the same situation here, but I like the feel of it, so I feel like this will actually at least work well. Yes, though, AA batteries, but if you get a Wavebird, you're still using AA batteries, I guess, so not too different. Of course, you still also, with the Wavebird, need to get the adapter to plug in GameCube controllers, whereas this will just work. But I did notice that there were people on either side when I did that review for that other Powerade controller, so I know there are people who are probably frustrated by the AA's because they like to just plug it in and have that convenience, but again, there are people who like to have AA's because they don't have to worry about the internal battery dying and then having to just buy a whole other controller. It is odd to think that the Xbox One controller still uses AA's, since they're touting the most powerful system, but they still have AA's. Of course, you can buy like a play and charge kit, which I guess this won't have unless Powerade puts one out. But this is $50, so again, I can kind of see why people will be a bit frustrated. But at least, no, it will have motion controls, yes, but it will also have AA's. So let me know what you guys think about that, and if that just put you off from buying it, because I know it's going to put some people off from picking up a couple of these wireless ones. I guess there's going to be the wired ones, and of course you can get the Nintendo branded ones as well. And ladies and gentlemen, that's going to do it here for Newswave. If you enjoyed this video, guys, hit the like button, really helps out. If not, hit the dislike. Leave comments down below about everything we talked about, whether it's Starlink in the UK and how the Switch version pretty much propped up the entire thing with 82% ratio. Let me know where you think that game would have fallen without Star Fox, because even without Star Fox, I feel like it would have been a fairly generic game that people would have passed over and said, oh, that's Toys to Life stuff, not interested. But an R-Wing? Yeah, I'll take the R-Wing. Also, let me know what you think about the Red Dead Redemption 2 gameplay getting leaked out and those GameCube controllers. Are you now put off from buying it, or are you still interested? Let me know, guys, down below. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.